Well, well, well. If it isn't 9-year NFL vet starting right tackle, life's pretty good for Jermaine Eluemunor.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you feeling? How do you feel after that win?
Winning solves a lot, so I feel good about it.
I love that. I'm in London right now. I'm in a hotel room in London. You grew up
How's it
in, I
going?
think it's called Chalk Farm, north of Camden, right?
Yeah, Chalk Farm.
What's one thing I should do before I leave?
Have you been to Camden Town yet?
No.
So
Where should I
Camden
go?
Town, it's called the Camden Lock, quote unquote. There's like a bunch of really good street food. For some reason, street food in England gets a bad rep, but I feel like when guys go over there, they go to like the little bougie spots, like all these like expensive restaurants and things like that, instead of like going for the real street food. So in my opinion, go to Camden Lock. Literally, just put it in your map, take a cab there. Tell me you want to go to
Okay.
Camden Lock. And there's like a whole bunch of different like street food vendors.
What's the order? Give me the order. I'll go right there.
There's this one place where it's like a Yorkshire pudding burrito where it's like beef, a little horseradish, some potatoes, some vegetables, like gravy. It's like this big burrito that I think is amazing.
Is
So,
Yorkshire pudding like the blood stuff? Like the
nah, you're thinking about blood pudding. That's like the pig guts and stuff like that. I don't mess with
I
that.
can't do that. What's
Nah,
Yorkshire pudding? What is that?
Yorkshire pudding is like it's like a bread basically, but it's like a
Oh,
bread, a cup bread. It's like a bread that's in the shape of a cup that, like, let's say for Thanksgiving, if you have Yorkshire pudding, you put like
sounds great.
some turkey in there, some gravy, potatoes, stuffing, some vegetables, and like wrap it all up and eat it as a sandwich.
I'm in. I gotta tell you, we said this on the show yesterday. Food in London completely slept on. I'm obsessed.
No,
I'm having
100%.
the
100%.
time of my life here. The
Hmm.
greatest time ever. Okay, congrats.
Exactly.
So were you with the win over Philly,
Hmm.
which I think was huge. Let's revisit the final drive of the game, Jermaine. Dable leans on the O line, runs the ball 8 times before taking a knee. What does that do? What does that mean? How satisfying was it to run it down their throats 7 minutes away from salting the game away?
I think the coolest thing as an offensive lineman is when you can take a knee, the victory formation, on their side of the field, but after going on a nice long drive and going on a drive like that, knowing that we have them right where we want them was really dope. As offensive lineman, when you're just making your block, you're seeing a scat run through the hole for a first down. It's probably one of the most satisfying feelings you can get as an offensive lineman. The next one is as your quarterback throwing a 50-yard touchdown after you're locking your guy up, but there's just something about going on a long drive like that to start the game, to really just put it away. The only other time I've done that is Christmas Day in Kansas City with the Raiders back in 2023. We went on that long drive to win the game too. So, 4-minute drives, they're tough because the defense is going to go, they're going to throw everything at you. But when you get those and you put the game away in that drive, it's the most satisfying thing ever.
You gave up one pressure the whole night, but I bet you're like, I want that one back.
Nah, for sure. I mean, my job and just, how serious I take it, I want to make sure Dart doesn't get hit at all because, everyone sees what he can do when he gets time. And I feel like us as offensive line, we've done a pretty damn good job doing that. And we can obviously be better. But, I really pride myself in making sure he stays up and stays clean. And, I've done a pretty good job of that this season, but there's always room for improvement.
He's special, that Dart. He is. Just meeting him. I met him when he was still in college. We were doing a Dick's Sporting commercial, sporting goods commercial at like 3 a.m. They like shut their store down. He was like, just something about him was special to me. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to know him in the NFL because I don't follow college football at all.
Mm-hmm.
I liked your quote. You said, I've kind of waited my entire career to play with a guy like that. That's the quote. What is it that Jaxson has?
I would say, in my career, I've been around I've been around Tom Brady, but I wasn't a starter. I
And
was
Lamar.
been around Lamar, obviously, two of the best to play the position. And I've been around a lot of great quarterbacks, but with Dart, it's kind of like, it's like that. How do I explain it? It's just different, like I've practiced with Tom, I practiced with Lamar, and that's not me putting those expectations on him at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool to be in a huddle with guys like that where they have no fear. And a lot of the quarterbacks I play with have no fear. But with him, it's just knowing that he's back there and he can make just plays like this play coming up on the screen right now. Like, that's such a crazy, and as an offensive lineman, just seeing your guy do that is the coolest thing ever. And I've watched Lamar do that. I've watched Kyler do that. Caleb Williams, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, all these guys just make crazy plays like that with their feet. And it's really satisfying as offensive lineman knowing that you'll go out there, you're going to block your butt up for your guy. And, as long as you give him time, that's that one bad pressure right there by me. Won't see that ever again.
But you're saying, here's what I heard. He's fearless. And then you like what he does outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's a playmaker. He's a very, very creative playmaker, one of the nicest guys you ever meet. And he just makes you want to go out there and just do everything you can to make sure he doesn't get hit. Like we're out there just throwing our bodies on the line, just sacrificing ourselves so he can stay clean. And, he feels the same way. That's the thing. Like I'm sure everyone's seen that third down where he's just diving for it. That's just how committed how much he wants to win. And it's really had a positive effect on his team, and everyone's buying into it, but everyone's feeding off that energy that he brings. And it's addictive, and it's really cool to see coming out.
I feel like, so when I scroll on like TikTok, I'll get these ads for like a master class. Like, let me teach you a master class on how to do this, or like the people in their industry. If you could tell a quarterback what they should say in a master class and try and getting an offensive lineman to put their body on the line for them, what would you say? Like, what is it that Jaxson does that makes you want to do that? What is it?
You just know you're going to get his best every single game. You just know he's going to go out there for 60 minutes. He's going to give everything he has. And as an offensive lineman, if you're not doing that too, and you're not matching that, if not exceeding that, then you're failing him. And I think all five of us, or really the offensive lineman we have in that building, every single one of us want to go out there and protect that kid with our lives and make sure we do everything humanly possible to make sure he wins the game, because he deserves that, because he puts in the work, he sacrifices everything. I mean, like I said, this kid's just as beat up as us right now because he's putting his body on the line every single play, trying to make plays for this team and this franchise. And it's really had a positive effect on everyone. But I'd say, look, he's going just as hard as us, and he's in the trenches with us, and that means a lot.
Yeah. It's been so fun to watch. It was really fun to obviously watch Thursday Night Football. I should have known you were going to have this crazy game when you rolled in with this pregame fit. What is going on here?
Hey, look, I mean, I'm working with this stylist right now, Marty McFresh. He's from New York, and he's a big guy too. And, for me, the whole thing with fits is it kind of shows my confidence for the game. And, with a guy that struggled with confidence and just gets really anxious before games, I wanted to make sure that all my fits kind of show how confident I am. And with that fit, it's a little crazy, it's a little out there, but Marty understands that, it's really big for me to have a crazy fit going into the game that not everyone would wear. I will say, though, a lot of people were wearing denim for the game, which was kind of crazy. I'm glad no one wore what I wore. But, for me, it's just all about confidence, and confidence doesn't start as soon as I walk on the field. It starts before I even walk in the building. And I want to walk in the building showing just how confident I am going into that game. So every fit I put on this season is going to show just how confident I am.
Talking about your anxiousness, when do you get, like, how are you handling that? How's it, obviously changed? You're saying the confidence, but you get anxiety before games?
Yeah, I'm so anxious. I mean, I strive for perfection. And, like you mentioned, the one pressure, like I try to be perfect as much as I possibly can. And, no one's perfect. Everyone's going to give up a little pressure here or there. The big thing, I don't do no sacks. I want to be as perfect as possible. But for me, it's just, I do a thing where I think about the negatives and I think how that negative can affect the game. And I try to do everything possible to make sure that doesn't happen. But sometimes I overwhelm myself. So a big thing for me is just meditating. Like if you see me pregame, I'll do my warm up. I do, get ready. And then I'll go to the goalpost, sit down, put my hood up, and I'll just meditate. And I have a mental coach, Brian Kane, who's been real instrumental for me, just helping me get into the right mind space in order to go out there and perform at my highest level for 60 minutes. Because, it's playing tackle in the NFL, as I don't know, is isn't the easiest thing. You're going against guys who are killers, who run 4.4s, 240, 50 pounds, who can bend like Abdul Carter and Miles Garrett, Von Miller, and all these other amazing athletes that we go against. So, I'm a big 330-pound guy going backwards trying to block these guys. So there's so many different things going on that sometimes it can be overwhelming. And meditation for me kind of brings me back down to where I need to be and centers me. So I go into the game exactly where I need to be mentally.
I'm going to tell you this stat, and you've allowed 2 sacks. I feel like you're not going to like that, but that's very good. You've played 419 snaps this year. These pass rushers are rarely getting by you. Heading into Sunday, you were ranked 26 out of 112 tackles as far as PFF pass block grade. I don't even know what that means. I shouldn't have even read that. I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry, I'm not smart enough. But 2 sacks on 419, like that's sort of insane and something that you should be proud of. I want to talk a little bit about maybe your defense and give them some love. Offense is looking great. Skattebo is insane, all of that. But I do want to ask you, like, Brian Burns, Dex, Abdul, Kayvon, this is no joke. This is no joke, considering that you do face these guys every day. How does practice feel compared to game days when you don't have to go against them?
Oh, practice is intense. In training camp, me, Burns, Abdul, we all made an agreement saying we're going to practice harder than anything. So once we get out there, it's just we're in a flow state, we can go. And I think that's why you've seen so much success from Burns, Abdul, Tibbs, Dex, all those guys, because we play how we practice, I would say. Like Burns had a crazy training camp, so did Tibbs, so did Abdul. I'm sure everyone saw clips of them. And not much has changed, if anything. They're going out there exactly how they practiced, preaching, everything we do in the building. You got to practice hard in order to go out there and perform. And Burns is a killer. He should be in Defensive Player of the Year conversations because he is a game changer. Tibbs is an elite rusher, and so is Abdul. And for me personally, I loved it because I got to see all 3 of them every single day for training camp for 30 days, really since OTAs. So, I got to see 3 different type of rushers every single day.
Yeah.
And help me perform and help me get better. And this was my best off season by far because every single day was a grind. Every single day, there was no days off for me. There was no, the best edge rusher is going to go to the left side. No, as soon as Burns went to the left, I got Abdul, and then they switched and they kept coming and it was just relentless. And that helped us grow and improve so much that now that we're in and there isn't any really rushes I haven't seen because I got to go against all 3 of them. And, I thank them for that every single day. And I tell them, I was like, hey, look, y'all going against a great tackle too. So
it's true. I just look, Burns is third in the NFL in sacks. He's third right now so far this year. 7. Let's give him that Defensive Player of the Year love. Quickly, I want to ask you about Daniel Jones because last time I talked to you, we talked about him. Of course, you've had his back in the media as any amazing offensive lineman would. What does it mean to see him have this success this year? What are you thinking about?
Oh, it's great. DJ is one of the best humans I've ever met. I know he's a baller. Seeing him do his thing in Indianapolis is really cool to see because you can just see his confidence growing more and more. And, he's a great player. Everyone says it. He's a great player. He's doing his thing in Indy right now. Just to watch him have as much success as he has, for an offensive lineman who, go out there and do everything they can to make sure he has success is the coolest thing ever. And, I hope he just keeps balling and doing his thing. It's cool as hell to see. I'm always going to have my quarterback back, no matter who it is. I'm always going to have their back.
Exactly. And you do. Jermaine, I can't wait to see your outfit against Denver next week. Good luck the rest of the season. Hopefully we'll talk in the playoffs. Let's go.
We're going to keep working.
Appreciate you. Bye, Jermaine.